My next question is, do you still practice your religion? And if you do, how do you manage to run a business in the United States and still make time to practice your religion on a daily basis?
Um, I still do practice my religion. I just still do consider myself a Muslim, but it becomes very difficult because my religion does require prayers 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working full time here in the U.S., it becomes very difficult
Yes.
to pray all 5 times a day. Am I as religious as I was when I was there? No. But that's the case for many hardworking Muslim full-time families here in the U.S. or men or women. Um, is practicing Islam or praying 5 times a day while working full time. It becomes kind of hard. It becomes a challenge. I'm not saying it's not possible.
Yeah.
Many people do it, but it all depends on the flexibility of your business. If you own your own business, it's easier to do it. But if you're working for somebody else, it's kind of hard to step away from work every 2 to 3 hours to pray. So so in my case, I do still practice, but not as strongly as I used to.
So, my next question is, what kind of adjustments did you have to make to adapt to the American culture?
Some of the adjustments I had to make was working with groups, not groups, but working with people, like working with women was
Yes.
completely different. Over there, men would eat separately, women would eat separately, which is completely not the case here. You would go to lunch with the woman, even as a group. Um, that was a little unexpected for me. I didn't know how to really handle that, especially coming from a country where that's not usually possible. Then when I slowly started to understand how to deal with it, and was when I was going to FIU doing group work with women and men, NSU now group work with women and men. After I started going to school, it started becoming easier for me to adapt to that.
Yes. All right.
But the biggest culture shock, or the biggest unexpected difference was that when I came here. I mean, I knew the language because I went to an American school there. But after I came here, that was the biggest unexpected hurdle.
Uh, do you think that you've successfully adjusted to American culture already?
Oh yeah. It's been 7 years since I've came here, and once again I already knew the language, so that wasn't the hard part. Going to school here, working here now, it's I do consider myself more American than I do Pakistani. So I have adjusted quite well to my belief at least.
Have you since returned to Pakistan? And if so, when you went to Pakistan, did you experience any reverse culture shocks?
When I go to I have gone back. I've gone back every year since. I mean, every time, anytime I go back recently, let's say the last 2 times, I just realized the amount of stuff that we take for granted here, in terms of food, water, electricity. Over there, electricity is out 8 to 10 hours a day, which is completely uncommon here. And I just realized how much of a better opportunity I have living here, and how much opportunity there is over there for that place to actually get better. And that's mainly, every time I go there, that's mainly the biggest culture shock is the night and day in terms of how the country is actually run and managed.
As of now, which two cultures do you believe is most prevalent in your life?
The two cultures that are most prevalent in my life would be first American, since I'm here now. Secondly would be Pakistani, since I do visit every year.
And how is it balancing those two cultures together?
Balancing initially it was hard. Now it's a lot easier. I'm able to mix a lot of my American culture with my Pakistani culture. There's many people living in the U.S. going to school with me now that are also from my background, and dealing with them makes it a lot easier for me to mix my cultures or understand both cultures a lot easily, or have them coincide without having any cultural differences and having any problems understanding one another.
Alright, that's cool. And my final question for today is, how has going to school in the United States helped you adjust to life here?
Going to school in the United States has helped me a lot. Once again, when I was doing group work here, doing all my research here for FIU and for NSU, every time we did reports on companies. The type of stuff that we look at over there when I was going to school, even when I was going to high school there, we never looked at financial data. We never looked at any company so deeply. We look at a lot of that here, which makes me understand how a certain business or how a certain industry is run. Because now when I step foot, like I learned a lot about the retail industry through doing research on on companies like Walmart, companies like Publix. I did a lot of research there, so I knew how the retail world was when I first stepped foot as an Office Depot store manager or assistant store manager. So I had an understanding of what I had to expect. Which if I did not go to school here and I only came here knowing the English language, is going to be a lot more difficult for me to
Yeah.
adjust to.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Take care.